This is your news source evening bulletin for today, Monday, the 13th day of May in the year 2024. I'm Gordon Mosley reporting, and here's what we're tracking tonight. 5 persons, including 2 teachers and a pair of siblings, lost their lives early this morning at Long Creek along the Suzdike-Linden Highway in a 2-vehicle smash-up. Those who lost their lives have been identified as Linden teacher Dwaylen Farrell, who was on his way to Linden, and Kukwani teacher Russia Leacock, her brother Edo Leacock, and an elderly woman, Urani Hall. They're all from the Kukwani area and were on their way to Georgetown. The 5th accident victim is still to be identified, while the names of the injured persons are still to be released. News source understands that the accident occurred as one of the cars was attempting to overtake another vehicle along the highway and slammed into the 3rd car that was heading in the opposite direction, head-on. Persons in the area said the cars were being driven at a fast rate at the time of the head-on collision. On the scene of the accident, the injured were pulled from the wreckage and taken to the Linden Hospital, where 5 of them were pronounced dead, and 4 others who survived were stabilized and later transferred to the Georgetown Hospital for emergency care. 3 of the survivors have been listed as critical. The accident reportedly took place just after 8 o'clock this morning, triggering a backup of traffic as other drivers rendered assistance to those who were badly injured. The Education Department in Region 10 and the Guyana Teachers Union have both extended condolences to the families of the 2 teachers who died and the other persons who lost their lives in the early morning smash-up. Meanwhile, the Deputy Mayor of Linden, Dominique Blair, in a statement also extended his condolences to those who passed away in the tragic accident. He said the accident underscores the urgent need for immediate action to address safety concerns along the Suzdike-Linden Highway. He said they cannot afford to wait for more lives to be lost before taking decisive steps to ensure the safety of all road users. According to the Linden Deputy Mayor, he would like to urge drivers to slow down and to always be careful on the highway. And he would also like to urge the government to prioritize the necessary infrastructure improvements and maintenance work on the Suzdike-Linden Highway without any further delay. More news coming up in just a moment.
It's one of your biggest goals, getting your own home, where memories are made, where happiness lives. You may feel that home ownership or renovation is beyond your reach, but we at Republic want you to know that there's always a way. Ask us about our suite of mortgages. Let's help make your housing wishes come true, or advise on how the equity in your existing home can finance other dreams and goals. Call or go online to learn more.
Win the chance of a lifetime with Lucozade Energize Your Drive promotion. Enter to win a fully loaded Toyota CHR or a ton of cash. $500,000 and $250,000 respectively. Just purchase 2 or more Lucozade 360 milliliter at participating outlets. Write your contact details on the back of the receipt and place them in the marked boxes nationwide. It's that simple. And you're on your way to Energize Your Drive with Lucozade. This promotion runs April 12th to June 7th, 2024. Terms and conditions apply.
The Guyana Teachers Union and the Ministry of Education began conciliation talks today after the Labor Department intervened in the ongoing dispute between the Guyana Teachers Union and the Ministry of Education. But the talks ended today in gridlock as the two sides failed to meet a compromise on the particulars to be discussed. in particular the timeline for the wage talks. The two sides met at the Ministry of Labor at the behest of the Chief Labor Officer, who initiated a process of conciliation even as teachers across the country resumed strike action over the government's refusal to engage the GTU in collective bargaining on that multi-year proposal spanning 2019 to 2023. The government has indicated that it is only prepared to negotiate salary increases for 2024 and beyond. Today, despite being locked in a meeting for hours, the two sides were unable to arrive at an agreed position on the timeline for the increases and the terms of resumption. Instead, after a more than 1 hour break, the union and the Education Ministry returned with new considerations.
The ministry returned with some new considerations, and the union put forward some new considerations. So as I speak now, we have left the room with an understanding that we will return tomorrow to relook at the document with a few options to see whether we can have an agreement on the way forward. So nothing has been signed off because there is still at least one area to be fleshed out for the resumption.
GTU President Mark Light. He said the union is clear in its position that negotiations must be based on its multi-year proposal for the year 2019 to 2023. However, he said the union is keenly analyzing the document and will act in the best interest of teachers.
As a union, we want to be responsible. We want to ensure that there is enough consultation so that whatever we decide to agree on with the ministry, that it won't be injurious to our members.
Light noted that the union has two options to choose from. With talks advanced, it is possible for an agreement to be reached sooner. The GTU has made it clear that the outstanding proposal must be dealt with first before discussions could begin on any new agreement. The GTU has also reminded the government through the Ministry of Education of the High Court ruling by Justice Sandal Kissoon, who lambasted the government for not engaging the union in collective bargaining while blocking the administration from cutting the salaries of striking teachers. With the strike action coming in the middle of the exams period, many parents have been urging the government to meet with the GTU and begin the collective bargaining process. The Guyana Police Force, through the Ministry of Home Affairs, today signed a memorandum of understanding with the New York City Police Department to build the capacity of the local police force. In an address at the signing ceremony at the police force headquarters, Evaleri, the NYPD Deputy Commissioner Tania Kinsella said the NYPD is pleased to partner with the Guyana Police Force, and together they will enhance the capabilities of the police force. Kinsella, whose mother is Guyanese, told those present that through the training program, the NYPD will share its experiences and best practices with the local police force. Practices that resulted in the NYPD clearing the streets of New York City of approximately 2,300 illegal guns so far for this year, and almost 16,000 illegal guns since the start of a program. She said the success recorded to date was only possible through partnership with communities based on trust and respect.
We want to help them tackle similar challenges in their communities and make Guyana safer too. We all recognize Guyana is not New York City. That is why we're going to tailor training programs to meet the unique needs of the law enforcement right here in Guyana. And as we move forward, I see a future where our partnership only grows stronger and where we freely exchange knowledge and experience for the greater good of New York City and Guyana.
Home Affairs Minister Robeson Ben said the government is pleased to sign on to the initiative, which will lead to the transformation of the Guyana Police Force at a time when it is confronted with newer challenges in its quest to combat crime.
Our challenges of law enforcement, of fighting crime, have reached at newer and higher levels. Our experiences and our expertise and the information gathering and systems we have in place are yet trailing behind the level at which we need to be to deal with these challenges, these new challenges. Our partnership with the NYPD through the INL will be significant, as President Ali just said to us, to leapfrog certain stages in terms of where we need to get to deal with the multifaceted issues of crime fighting.
He said the local police will be able to learn from the experiences of the NYPD as the government works to transform the police force to police service while creating a new culture of policing. Meanwhile, the U.S. ambassador to Guyana, Nicole Terrio, said the signing of the MOU signals the start of a new training partnership intended to support the Guyana Police Force's 2022 to 2026 Strategic Management Plan. She said this week Deputy Commissioner Kinsella and her delegation will meet with key government and civil society stakeholders, including the President and ministers of the government, as well as the Mayor of Georgetown, to ensure the training program is designed to meet the security needs of the country.
Over the coming month, we are excited to work with the NYPD and GPF to develop curriculum on the adoption of law enforcement training best practices, including on homicide and gender-based violence investigations, as well as the First Deputy Commissioner mentioned, community policing.
The training program, the U.S. ambassador explained, is being funded by the U.S. Embassy and the U.S. Department of State's Bureau of International Narcotics and International Law Enforcement Affairs. Following the consultative process, the NYPD delegation will return to Guyana within the months to initiate the training program. Additionally, Guyana Police Force officers will be sent to New York City for a practical study tour at the NYPD Training Center.
Rev up your excitement and win the chance of a lifetime with Lucozade Energize Your Drive promotion. Enter to win a fully loaded Toyota CHR or a ton of cash. $500,000 and $250,000 respectively. Just purchase 2 or more Lucozade 360 milliliter at participating outlets. Write your contact details on the back of the receipt and place them in the marked boxes nationwide. It's that simple. And you're on your way to energize your drive with Lucozade. This promotion runs April 12th to June 7th, 2024. Terms and conditions apply.
Mobil 1 is more than oil. It's many oils. It transforms at the molecular level. When cold, it's thicker than honey. When hot, it's thinner than water. Mobil 1 adapts and readapts to last longer. 16,000 kilometers between oil changes. That's your engine evolved.
Sol Guyana is the authorized distributor of Mobil lubricants.
Police investigators are this evening continuing their probe of the murder of 33-year-old machine operator John Williams, who was stabbed to death while being robbed by 3 teenagers on Saturday night. According to information released by the police, Williams, who's from the East Coast community of Monterepo, was walking along Commerce Street in Georgetown just after 9 o'clock on Saturday night when he was attacked and cornered by the 3 teenagers. One of the teens grabbed the man's backpack, and while he was reportedly fighting them off, he was stabbed to the chest by another one of the teens. The 3 escaped from the scene after the injured man fell to the ground. Persons in the area contacted the police, and an emergency medical team responded and rushed the injured man to the hospital, where he was pronounced dead. The police said the 3 suspects are 14, 15, and 19 years old. The 2 younger teens who have since been arrested are both high school students, while the 19-year-old who remains on the run has been listed as unemployed. Investigators said the oldest teen is from Bedford. The police said the murder weapon was found in the possession of the 15-year-old suspect. The investigations remain active. Crime Chief Wendell Blanham has confirmed that the Guyana Police Force is in receipt of a criminal complaint alleging rape and sexual assault that was filed against former Minister of Local Government Nigel Daramlal. After refusing to answer questions on the allegations for the past 3 days, the Guyana Police Force broke its silence this morning by indicating that the crime chief has confirmed that a formal report was made by the alleged victim to the police at the Coven John police station. The crime chief noted that the allegations are serious and the matter is under active investigation. On Friday, former local government ministry employee Sarah Anissa Hack told a media conference that she had officially filed a police complaint detailing 2 cases of sexual assault that she said was allegedly committed against her by Mr. Daramlal. She said the incidents took place in 2020 and 2021. In a statement that was issued hours after the press conference by Ms. Hack, Daramlal, who was recently elected to the executive of the governing PPP, denied the sexual assault allegations and claimed that the young woman who made the allegations against him was upset that he had turned down her advances to him. In July of 2023, Daramlal was forced to resign as a government minister and a member of parliament after a teenage schoolgirl made similar sexual assault allegations against him. He also denied those allegations, and the complainant eventually recanted her claims just as charges were being prepared for filing. There were reports that a financial settlement might have been reached in that case. The teenage girl, however, detailed her allegations to at least 2 women's rights organizations and a number of officials before she recanted the allegations. In 2022, a New York-based woman had also complained about being sexually harassed by Daramlal on social media. In her allegations, she said just after she had clicked like on a post made by the then minister on Facebook, he reached out to her and invited her to meet with him at his hotel room during a New York visit. The woman provided screen grabs of the conversation and also revealed that the politician shared nude images of himself with her while requesting that she do the same. She said she blocked his advances and wanted the matter probed, but there was never any investigation, she later claimed. A 24-year-old man from East Kanji in Berbice lost his life on Sunday night when he lost control of his motorcycle and fell onto the roadway. Police in the Berbice area identified the dead youth as Sean Atmaram. According to a statement from the investigators, the 24-year-old was proceeding south along the eastern drive lane of the Betsy Ground public road when he suddenly lost control of the motorcycle he was riding. He was pitched onto the roadway, and the police said it appeared as though he was riding the bike at a fast rate when he lost control of it. Although he was wearing his helmet at the time, he sustained multiple injuries to his body. He was pronounced dead at a New Amsterdam public hospital. Several motorcyclists have lost their lives in accidents across the country since the start of this year.
Look at the breathtaking beauty of the Essequibo. From its pristine rivers to its abundant resources, it's a treasure that belongs to Guyana, and we ask Venezuela to respect the rule of international law.
Our commitment to this land is not just about ownership. It's about preserving its beauty and resources for our people and future generations.
The controversy between Guyana and Venezuela was settled internationally as full, perfect, and final in 1899. Essequibo belongs to Guyana.
Guyana's economy is rapidly transforming, and we're all part of it. Guyoil is at the forefront of this development by providing reliable and efficient energy and supporting community development from the very core. 100% of Guyoil's profit goes back to building schools, roads, and other important infrastructure that connects our cities and towns, providing fuel to domestic, marine, industrial, and aerial transportation. Guyoil has now repositioned itself as a market leader in the petroleum industry, building a better future for all of us.
It's one of your biggest goals, getting your own home, where memories are made, where happiness lives. You may feel that home ownership or renovation is beyond your reach, but we at Republic want you to know that there's always a way. Ask us about our suite of mortgages. Let's help make your housing wishes come true. or advise on how the equity in your existing home can finance other dreams and goals. Call or go online to learn more.
Holiday spending put a dent in your cash. Top up your pockets in the Cash Splash promotion. Win over $5 million, including over $1 million in our weekly draws. Just purchase any Buster, Turbo, Fruita, Cool Kids or Viva. Look for the 8-digit code starting with 786. Then visit Facebook or IG at Buster Guyana or Turbo_Caribbean for more details.
With your regional and international news tonight, I'm Svetlana Marshall in the region. Argentina's government is set to ramp up pressure on Venezuela to grant safe passage to 6 opposition aides who had sought refuge in its embassy in Caracas, official sources said, adding they were at physical risk if they didn't leave the country. 2 senior Argentine officials told Reuters last week that the administration of President Nicolas Maduro, who has looked to head off political rivals ahead of July presidential elections, had reneged on promises to allow the 6 to safely leave the country. In March, aides to Venezuelan opposition leader Maria Corina Machado requested asylum at the Argentine embassy in Caracas after a local prosecutor issued arrest warrants against them for conspiracy. Machado, who has denied any allegations of misconduct by her team, was blocked from being a candidate in the upcoming election, despite being the front-runner in polls. Maduro's government has been going after political opposition candidates, including Machado, despite electoral commitments signed last year, a trend that saw Washington reimpose broad oil sanctions in April. The Saudi Fund for Development, SFD, is providing St. Vincent and the Grenadines with an easy $135 million loan for a number of projects in the education, national security, health, youth, and sports and housing sectors. Finance Minister Camilo Gonzalez signed the agreement with Saudi officials in Washington last month, and Parliament gave the green light to the accord as it debated the natural disaster construction and rehabilitation project loan authorization bill. The loan is at a 2% interest to be repaid over 20 years with a 5-year grace period and was included in the EC $1.6 billion budget for 2024 that Parliament approved in January. Gonzalez told lawmakers that the first payment on the loan will be made in 2029 and the final payment on the loan will be made in 2043, noting that it will fund projects expected to be completed by the end of 2026. And finally tonight, international news. Donald Trump's former lawyer, Michael Cohen, is testifying at a New York court in the ex-president's historic hush money trial, according to the BBC. Cohen alleges Trump told him to be prepared for a lot of women who could come forward when he entered the presidential race. The court has heard Cohen organize cash for a former Playboy model. At the direction of Trump, Cohen paid porn star Stormy Daniels $138,000 to stay quiet before the 2016 election about claims that she and Trump had sex in 2006. Trump is accused of trying to cover up the payments he made to reimburse Cohen by fraudulently recording them in his business records. Trump has pleaded not guilty to 34 counts of fraud and also denies having any sexual encounter with Daniels. And that's your News Source Evening Bulletin for tonight. I'm Svetlana Marshall reporting and encouraging you to stay safe.